Hello, and welcome to GalacticSummit. We're so glad you could join us, given everything in the world that's going on right now. My name is Dona Sarkar. I work at Microsoft. I head up the cloud advocacy org for the Power Platform. The Power Platform is Microsoft's low-code app platform that you can use to build apps, websites, chatbots, automation, data visualizations, all with writing very little code. Even for people like me who are a software engineer, I've been a developer for 14 years, I'm old. Having something like this is enormously helpful because while I may be an expert in making operating systems, I've never made an iOS app in my entire life. So the main reason I use the Power Platform is for a separate reason. Apart from my day job, I also run an independent fashion company called Dona. I'm Dona, Dona. This is an ethically tailored fashion line, and we have our team all over the world. So I've got tailors in Johannesburg, Detroit, Nigeria, Indonesia, Chile, and we need to stay in sync all the time on customer orders as well as customer feedback and sales and all of the stuff that businesses usually have. Because I have these two jobs, I have to rely on technology very heavily to help me run this business. So I would like to show you a few of the things that I have built for my specific business and some of the things that I'm working on building. All right, let's get started. I'm going to turn video off because I make such scary faces when I demo. So let's get started. First, Dona Studios. This is my company. You can see that we've got a clear mission of disrupting the fashion industry. We specialize in women's fashion, and very recently, we actually unveiled our unisex men's line. So I have updated our FAQ here with this information. So when you're going to make men's clothing, it's the number one question we kept getting over and over. So we said, you know what, we're going to do this experiment and see what happens. But because we keep getting questions, we decide to make a chatbot. So here are 5 things that we're going to do for the next 25 minutes. 1, we're going to build a chatbot, a Power Virtual Agent to answer customer questions. 2, we're going to build a web page to get customer feedback and put that chatbot on. 3, we're going to build a Power App to show customer feedback that we have gotten. That will be internal to just my team, so we can see all the feedback coming in from users. 4, we're going to make a business card reader. We meet a lot of people in the world, whether they're customers or potential partners or textile manufacturers. And I, of course, am very disorganized, so I lose my business cards. I would like to scan them and have that information saved into my contacts list right away. So I'm building a Power App to do that. And 5th, I'm going to be building some automation to save a bunch of this information. So let's get started. First thing I'd love to show you is a thing called a Power Virtual Agent. So this is a low-code chatbot. You can start by going to powerva.microsoft.com, and when you do, you just go name your bot, and you will arrive at something that looks like this. I've named my bot La Diva because, La Diva. So I haven't done anything else to this bot. I just generated it. And the reason I did that is because it takes about 15 minutes to just auto-generate a bot, and I didn't want you to hang out and have to wait for me to yap at you for 15 minutes. So when you generate a bot, you're going to get a bunch of topics for free. First, these are all learning topics. You can learn like a simple topic, you can learn a simple topic with the condition. And these are all ways that you can just get started on your bot without having to start from scratch. There's also a bunch of system topics that are just default things that all chatbots have, like a greeting and a goodbye. These are all done for you. And when you create your own, I recommend you start with them and then modify them to suit you. So one very cool feature that I thought was interesting was you can generate a chatbot from an FAQ page. So we've got our Prima Donna FAQ page. Let's grab the URL. We go to suggest topics. And you just paste the URL in here and click add. And then start. So it's going to take a few minutes to turn those questions on my FAQ page into a chatbot. So in the meantime, let me show you where we're going to host it. So the second part of the Power Platform that I want to talk about today is a thing called a Power Apps portal. So a Power Apps portal is a low-code website that you can generate from just scratch or some sort of a data source. How you start is you go to make.powerapps.com and you click portal from blank. Now I've already made this because again it takes like 15 minutes to generate and I don't want you to have to listen to me. So you can just go and put in the name of what you want to name your portal and then the address. It's going to have a Power Apps portal appended onto the end of it. Then you click create and hang out for 15 minutes. Now I've already done that. So now we can go to it. It is here. So, okay, I know portal. Alrighty. So here is our Power Apps portal. You can see that this is a basic website. Here it is in preview mode, so you can have a look. Basic website. I updated the logo with my logo. I updated this picture, changed some words. You can add emojis in all sorts of places, which I think is kind of cool. And I've got some customer feedback for 3 of our most popular pieces. So we do a lot of women's wear and we've just started to do unisex menswear. And we get a ton of questions. So we want to add our chatbot to this. But I find this destroy humanity thing to be a little morbid given what's going on in the world. So let's have that be a little bit friendlier. Let's go to, where did I go? Oh, here. So destroy humanity, we want to go in here. And let's have this be a little more cheerful. Why do I keep doing this here? You click here, edit. Let's wait for this to open. I guess I should have pre-opened this. It's okay. It'll happen pretty quickly. You can see that this is your basic like sort of WYSIWYG thing. You know how to use this. If you want to get fancy, you can add CSS. Where is it? Yeah. So you could add CSS and upload customer CSS. I am very bad at CSS, so I'm not doing that. I'm just going to use a lot of the default stuff and see whatever I can make it work with that. So I thought the destroy humanity thing is a bit morbid, so I'm going to change it to be something else. Let's change it to be friendly. Clippy. Clippy's friendly. And then we see that picture's a little off, so let's shrink this to be 90% the width, and let's see if that works better. Yeah, I think that works better. So what we're going to do is, I think that works. I should move it up a little, which I will do. We want to add a chatbot here to this page. So let's go check in on our chatbot and see how things are going. Oh, look. So do you remember these topics? Why do you want to get banned from New York Fashion Week when you're going to make women's? So these are all of the questions from the Prima Donna FAQ that have, do you have a store when you're going to make men's, etc. So these are all from the Prima Donna FAQ, which have gotten added. So what we want to do now, and I apologize for the noise in the background, we're having protests outside. We want to take all of these and we want to add them to the topics. These are suggested and we want to add them to our existing list. So we hang out for a second while they get added to the topics that are default in our chatbot. Let's go to existing. So now you can see that these are all user topics. Now, here is a very important thing that I always mess up, and I want to remind you, turn them on. Otherwise, your bot won't recognize them, and you'll be sitting here wondering where your questions went. We have to be a little patient as we turn them on. Alrighty, so now we have these. What we're going to do now is we are going to publish our bot. So we're going to publish our bot. Actually, you know what, before we do that, let me do this. So here are a bunch of greetings that you can have. Here are escalation paths you can have. So a lot of this stuff is already pre-done for you. And once this thing gets published, we're going to test it out. So publish. So here we go. Let's check out the demo website. So you just click on the demo website. You published your bot. La Diva is published. Let's see what we did. Hello. So you can see that this is all the default stuff. I can change all of it. I can change it to be like, hi, I'm a virtual agent who's a diva. You look fabulous. What can I do for you? You can also add emojis to any of this. We just chose not to because I will get very carried away. So let's try one of our questions. Try on close. Okay. So here's a few questions. The chatbot can see that they didn't quite match, but here's the question that we actually do know how to answer. So let's choose that one. When you're going to make men's clothing, I'm like, we're in experiment mode. Our customer unisex hoodies. If the experiment goes well, we'll expand to shirts and jackets in August of 2020. Check out what we've got. Does that answer your question? Yes or no? So you say yes, and etc. So I'm feeling, and again, this is all done for you. So I'm feeling kind of good about this bot. So I want to add it to my website. We go over here to channels, and you can see that this was on the demo website there. You can put it on a custom website. You can put it into Teams. There's many, many places you can put this bot. So we're going to choose custom website. And what I'm going to do, generally for a website, you'd grab this whole thing and put it into the HTML. Because we've already got a website, I'm going to just grab the URL here. And let's go back to our portal. Where's our portal? Our portal is here. I'm going to add this as an iframe right there. All right. By default, it's this Bing image thing. I want this Bing image. I want it to be this. Height and width. Let's change the height and width to be a little bit wider than it is taller. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. And that looks to be pretty decent with it. So let's see how. Does that take? Ah, there you go. La Diva. And this thing looks decent-ish. I need to raise it still. Okay, so let's try this. This box is too tiny, so I would probably expand it to be up a little bit more. Hang on, what did I do? 500. That seems good. Yeah, so I would make this probably a bit bigger. I think I've hit some sort of a bug. Okay, so, oh, shoot, what did I do? All right, so that is the Power Apps portal that I highly recommend if you are good at UX. mess around with. I have a little bit more work to do to make this page look decent. And then I will just link it to my main website and off we'll go. I think this just cached from before. Okay, so next, what are we going to do? Next, I want to show you how to generate a Power App from just a data source. Now, this is probably my favorite like random party trick to do. So I've got a basic spreadsheet. Most of you are office people, office experts, so you're very familiar with spreadsheets. Just a spreadsheet with a table, okay? So you can see that it's the name of the garment, the SKU, the textile, the price, the image. I've just stashed all the images in blob storage for now. The customer who bought it, the badass score, which is how much of a badass does the customer feel like, the compliment score, meaning how many compliments did they get, their verbal feedback, what size they got, what was the data source, so was it through the rental company we use or more, or was it in person, our website, etc., and then our specific notes, 2 cents on this. So we've got this data source, but it's kind of annoying to look at things in an Excel, especially for me. I am dyslexic, so looking at this is special help. So I'm going to generate a Power App to do that work for me. So you go back to make.powerapps.com and look here. I want to start from data. So I need to start from data. And I've got that stashed on my OneDrive. Dona's Power Projects, the business problems, financials and feedback. And over here you see this called financials and feedback. And the table, I've got my financials table with all my sales data, then my feedback table here. We're not going to mess with the sales data today. I can just do financials, the customer feedback one. So click connect. And we wait for a little bit of magic to happen here. So this Power App will now generate from the data source. So while this happens, oh, it happened really quickly. Now you can see that it generates you, here, you click the play button over here in the corner so you can preview it. It generates you this app that behaves just like it would on a phone. It's got the main screen where it has all of the customers, and then the detail screen where you can go like this, and then edit screen where you can add new one, or you can edit the existing screen. Now you can see that this is really ugly and makes no sense. So we need to figure out what we want on the main page. Right now we've got like the compliment score and the badass score. That doesn't actually make any sense. So it would make more sense to have the customer name and probably their verbatim feedback. So that's the first thing we should change here. The second thing we should change is just reorder this page a little so the picture's higher and maybe the info is better organized. So let's get out of this mode and let's do some work with this. First, let's click browse screen here. I don't actually like this color. I want dark mode, but when I change to dark mode, I can't see anything. So I would do something with themes. So up here in the ribbon, you can see themes. Let's choose something else. How does this look? It's okay, it's not that nice. This is pretty, that's good. So I'm gonna save this because before we lose it, because I'm notorious for not saving, and you know, it's a disaster. For me, all of life is OneNote. You never need to save. All right, so now we have this. I want to change the layout. So you come over here into layout, and you can see there's all kinds of options. Because we're having like a gallery looking thing, let's try gallery. This is better. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe that. No. Maybe we can overlay the info. Yeah, that's starting to look way better. Speaking of the info, these fields are the ones we want to change. So click fields, edit. Compliment score is not what we wanted. With this, you can see that when you click it, it highlights the little box over here. So complement, we want this to be their verbatim feedback. So that's good. And then the next one, instead of the badass score, we want their customer's name. So this is nice. This is looking way better. So the next thing we want to do is go to the detail screen. So you see all the navigation happens in this part over here between the screens, and then this is the details of each screen. Now this details form, I want to change the layout for this as well. I don't love the vertical. Let's try horizontal. Okay, this is looking better. Let's change. Oops, did not mean to do that. Where did I go? Details form. Fields, edit fields. So let's change the order of these. I want the image to be higher. So let's raise it. Image. Still higher. This badass score can go down a little bit. Image first. Next would make sense would be like the customer's name right below the image. So what happened to my layout? It was, yeah, this is looking better. Yeah. Customer's name, data source. Let's have the customer's feedback be a bit higher. Data source, what is the name of the thing? And then, yeah, so this is looking kind of decent. Let's have a look at, yeah, I can dig this, right? As we get items, they'll keep piling in here. You dig into each one and get complement score, battle score. Of course, you can mess with this all day if you're good at UX. I am not. This is very helpful. All right, so let's save. I want to show you something I do whenever I make a Power App like this that has something for everyone. Of course, we deploy onto all of our phones, but what is also very, very useful is actually to be able to have it in our teams. So the company, Prima Donna, Earning the Negroni Squad, we've got our own Teams channel. Let's make sure this is saved. Yeah, the same. So we've got our own Teams channel, and then, you know, of course, it's a series of Devil Wears Prada gifts, but I actually want to add the Power App. So up here in the app rail, you can choose to add Power Apps, and you can see Prima Donna Customer Feedback is an app. Let's add it. And you can now see it within your, did I not save that? Oh, maybe I tried to add it before. I think I tried to add it before. Save, oh, publish this version. Okay, I'm going to remove. Let's give it a minute. Reload. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this here. I'm sure I'm going over on time. There you go. Cool. So fun. All right, so the last thing I want to show everyone how to do is how do we keep track of contacts that we've made. I want to build a Power App that is a business card reader, okay? So let's do this. Business card reader. We're down to 5 minutes. I really hope we can get done in 5 minutes. All right, now we are going to insert an AI builder component, okay? See, business card reader is already a pre-built component that you can just use. Come on, So scan business card. What are some of the things we're going to want to pull out of this? So first, we're going to want to pluck out the name and the email address, right? So the person's name and their email address. These are the two bare minimum things that we generally need. Most people don't run around and give people their phone number anymore because people can be a little weird sometimes. So just put two labels, and then now we want to put two text fields. So come on over here, get a text input field. Scoot this down. Text input. And let's get another one. Text input. Now, this is where connectors are useful. So click in here. Because you've added this AI Builder component, you get this connector. So just start typing business card reader. Dot, what is this called? Name? First name. And then email address. I guess I would do first name, last name, but we're horrendously at a time. Business card reader dot email. Email. What did I say? Yeah, I did. Oh, yep, we're doing good. Now I want to have a save button, right? So when I scan a business card, I want to save that somewhere, ideally to my contacts. So how do you do that? We are going to take an action, and that action is going to be doing a Power Automate. We are going to create a new flow. So flow is the automation framework. Make sure you're still in the same environment or you're going to be sad. We're going to create a flow that starts from a Power App. So Power App, let's have a new step. What I want to do is add it to contacts in my Outlook mail. So let's do that. Let's do contacts. Create a contact. Oops. Create contact right there. Create contacts folder, contacts given name. Let's ask in Power Apps. Let's query given name. Yeah, that sounds fine. Home phone number, I'm not gonna expect one there, so it's mandatory. I'm just gonna put email address is what we want, not email address name. So given name is not it. We just say see more. See more. Where'd it go? Ask in Power Apps. Whenever you're in doubt, just click Ask in Power Apps. It'll give you some ideas. So this is the flow we want. Now, what it's going to do is pluck this info from Power Apps and drop it into contacts. So let me show you the contacts while that opens. There's this thing called Flow Checker that tells you if you've gotten any errors. You'll get a little red warning. Test your flow over here. I'll perform the trigger action. Save and test. Test, test, test. Yep, we're logged in. We're no issues. And then test. I can just add myself. My email address, but that's okay. Seems like it ran successfully. Okay, so let's pretend you're not having to look at my mail right now. We're going to look at my Origin Stories mail, which is the one I have. And look, this flow worked. Now keep an eye, there's just two of these. So let's connect this back to the Power App. This is Power Apps button 2. So now what we want to do is Power Apps button 2. We add that, and here we go. Now what do we want to pull? We want to pull business card reader first name. Yep. And then business card reader email. All right, remember, these were the fields. So business card reader first name, business card reader email. Those are the ones we want to save here. And then close that out. And I think, did I do this wrong? Power Apps button, run, business card reader first name, business card reader. Oops, that's not right. It's a dot. All right, so now the exclamation point is gone, so that looks right. Save, 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 save. All right, so let's do a test. Ready? So nervous. Scan business card. These are not what we want. We want Dona's Power Projects. I had pre-scanned this business card. If I have it on my phone, it would just be like a real one. But this is a guy I met who really wants one of my hoodies. He drives a Uber and runs a pizza place. So as you can see, his name is Vince Pazinga. I know, it's kind of cute that his name is Vince Pazinga, runs a pizza place. Pulled out his first name, cool, and his email address. So now we hit save, and we cross our fingers and hope that that's saved. So, ready to check? Check contacts. Ah, Vince. See? So there's a lot more work to be done. Namely, I want to spend some time pulling all of these, stop using Excel as a data source and start using the Common Data Service. So that's one thing I want to do. The other thing I want to do is get into mixed reality. I want to start adding mixed reality into my apps. Right now it's an experimental feature. You just go in here, click Advanced Settings, and scroll all the way to the bottom. And here's mixed reality right here. So I want to use it to measure fabric, et cetera, et cetera. And then the third one I want to do is make a receipt processor. So I always have to scan a ton of receipts, and I would love to shorten that up. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to stop sharing my desktop. Thank you so much for joining me today, and sorry for all the weird demo snafus and the fact that there's a violent protest going on outside. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy Summit.
Thank you for being a part of the Galactic Collaboration Summit. Join the community and meet in-person world-class Microsoft and MVP speakers this autumn in Wiesbaden, Frankfurt, Germany, with 15 full-day tutorials and over 150 Microsoft 365 and Azure sessions at the combined European Collaboration Summit and European Cloud Summit from 26 to 28 October 2020. Community rocks.